When your metabolism is slow, it makes dieting really hard. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nicole Yee, a holistic nutritionist and nutrition coach, and today I'm going to tell you why having a slow metabolism makes it harder to diet. The first thing I want to mention is that just because you have a slow metabolism doesn't mean that it's broken, and it doesn't mean that it's going to stay slow forever. People often think that as you age, your metabolism gets slower. And while that does seem like that's the case, it's not really as true as you think it is. If you think back to when you were in school, you were probably doing gym classes, maybe you had activities outside of school, like you had soccer, dance, swimming, whatever sport you were in, you were always busy. A lot of times too, you're also playing with your friends, you don't have a car, you're having to walk around, take the bus, and do all that stuff. And then as you get older, you spend a lot more time sitting down at a desk job, and you don't have those extra calories to burn doing activities because we know adulthood's a trap. One thing that does really slow down the metabolism is when you've made multiple attempts at dieting. And what I mean by that is there are often times where people will go through a diet and then they try to stay in that deficit for as long as they possibly can. And that's what leads to this term called metabolic adaptation, where your body will learn to efficiently burn that amount of calories for its daily needs. So whether you are doing a ton of exercise or you're not really doing much at all, it's going to become efficient just burning that amount of calories. That also means that if you are eating below your basal metabolic rate, your body's not functioning optimally. And so when you're doing that, this is where your bodily processes start to slow down to meet the energy that it's receiving. So maybe your digestion's not going to be the best. Maybe your recovery after you work out won't be the best. And maybe if you try and slash your calories even more and do even more exercise, you won't feel like you're making any progress at all. And this is what makes dieting hard when you have a slow metabolism. If you feel like your metabolism is broken or like it's just not working the way that it used to, and it's like you have to cut so many calories just to see a small little difference on the scale, then it's probably because your metabolism needs a little bit of help. So sometimes when people are going through a diet, they've tried different things and they've kind of gone from this diet to the next diet. They've gained and lost the same 10 pounds over and over and over again. And when they try like the next best thing, they don't actually see much of a difference. So they're like, what is going on? I'm trying this diet, it's the keto diet or the carnivore diet or gluten-free diet or whatever diet it is, and it's because they're not truly in a calorie deficit. So to help you understand this a little bit easier, a calorie deficit just means that you're eating below whatever your maintenance is. And I mentioned before this term called metabolic adaptation, where whatever calories you end up dieting on and your body adapts to that, that becomes your new maintenance. So if you go online to a maintenance calculator, it's not necessarily going to give you your true maintenance because everybody is so individual. What I would suggest doing instead would be to take your calories and check out how much you're actually eating and track it for a week. And that's going to be whatever your maintenance calories are. And don't make any changes and try to eat healthy while you do that. That's just going to give you your baseline numbers. The next tip that I would recommend doing if you are feeling like you have a sluggish metabolism would be to go and compare your weekly calories against what it says in a calorie calculator. And that's going to tell you whether or not you are actually eating below your suggested maintenance. And that suggested maintenance is going to be what your goal should be to reach. Now, there are a lot of benefits to speeding up your metabolism, and just because people say that their metabolism is broken, that does not make it true. It's just the way that you feel because nothing seems to be working. And so, although it may seem counterintuitive, what you actually want to do is start reversing your calories up and increasing your food so that you can get closer to that maintenance. And some benefits to doing that is really that you can diet on a higher amount of calories. So if right now you are suffering from a slow, broken metabolism that just feels like you have to eat air to survive, to lose weight, and nothing else is working, then you could think of this as like eating higher than what you're currently eating right now and still being able to lose weight. I'll give you an example now. I personally used to be an ex-bikini competitor and ex-figure competitor. And when I was competing, I would start off my contest preps at 1,200 calories, and I would go down and finish my prep at 800 calories. I would lose about 25 pounds in 10 weeks or so. And it was very, very much like crash dieting. Don't recommend it. Anyways, I would start out my calorie deficits at 1,200 calories, which is something that is very unsustainable. And it's also less than what a toddler should be eating. So should I have been eating that much? No, I definitely should have been eating more. Should I have been eating 800 calories? No, I definitely should have been eating more. So when I take myself as an example, I went through a reverse diet back in 2022. I spent the last year healing my everything, just my metabolism, my gut issues, my hormones, all of that stuff. And now I'm dieting on 1800 calories because my maintenance is so much higher from forcing myself to go into a surplus so that I could do all of the healing that was necessary. And as a result, I've lost 8 pounds in the past 7 weeks. And so that is one of the benefits that you can find when you're actually eating enough food. You'll also find that you're going to be able to have more body composition changes. So instead of just losing weight, maybe you're just losing fat and you can start building more muscle at the same time because you're not in such a calorie deficit. And muscle is like calorie currency. The more muscle you have, the more calories that you can eat. And the more calories that you can eat, the more sustainable any diet is that you're going to follow. If you have more muscle, you burn more calories at rest, literally doing nothing. So I could sit next to somebody who is the exact same weight as me, but maybe I have more muscle mass than them. If we're sitting there watching a movie together, I'm going to be burning more calories than they would be. Another thing that people find when they have that broken metabolism is that when they go through a diet, maybe they find that they can lose weight right off the bat, but then it stops and then they can't lose weight for the life of them, no matter what they do. They try everything, they're doing everything right, and nothing is working. And one thing that's really beneficial about speeding up your metabolism and taking the time to boost your metabolism is that you can beat those plateaus. You can start bypassing them because there's so much room. So like I said, if I started off my personal weight loss journey at 1800 calories and I've lost 8 pounds so far, I haven't had to make any adjustments because my body is still responding to that. Now, if I do hit a plateau, because it is inevitable and eventually I will hit one, what I could do is just drop my calories by 100 calories and then I'm eating 1700 calories. And I will start to see a difference again doing that. So the changes won't be drastic, but this way you get to lose weight and keep it off for good because you're not doing another crash diet. You're not going to be so deprived and restricted with such a low amount of calories. You have that flexibility there. That is going to be my last thing that I talk about. So when you speed up your metabolism and you have a lot more food flexibility and you have a higher amount of calories that you can play with, you can begin calorie cycling throughout your week so that you can have 5 low days and then 2 high calorie days. And that is going to give you the flexibility so that you can include those social events into your week every week. And so, for example, with myself, I had a girls' night this past weekend, and then I also had another girls' night, which was with 2 different groups of friends, but I managed to eat ramen, which if you know, then there's very high calories in that. And then I also had apple fritters and all sorts of things. I even had tacos. Yes, that is the one thing that you're missing if you're trying to diet and just be super restrictive. 1200 calories is not going to be the thing that gets you there. You're not going to have that flexibility. In fact, if you make it past a month, then kudos to you. But it doesn't have to be that insufferable. You can find other ways to do it. And you can do it in a way that it's not going to harm your metabolism as much as eating 1200 calories a day will. Now, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And I've also left a free cheat sheet below, and that's going to help you live life and lose weight at the same time. See you next time.